Hey y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is our SummerSlam review. Basically, as I go through, if you didn't see a couple days ago, I made my predictions a couple days before the event. As I go through, I'm going to cover those as well. First match of the night, the pre-pay-per-view show, Rob Van Dam versus Cesaro. Van Dam picks up the win in the unannounced match. Good way to open up, good way to get the crowd into it. I enjoyed it. Next up we have the first match of the pay-per-view, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. I got this one right. Dolph Ziggler picked up the win as I thought he would. Miz is kind of falling flat, even though he's growing on me a bit, and I think this character is the best I've ever seen of The Miz. I still think for the most part, by and large, it's falling flat. Next up, we had AJ Lee versus Paige for the Divas Championship. Another one I predicted right with Paige winning. Rumors have come out that AJ Lee is going to be leaving WWE very soon, so I could see this as kind of one of those passing the torch kind of things to the next generation, that being Paige. Next up, we had Jack Swagger versus Rusev in a flag match where Rusev won. I got it absolutely wrong. However, the flag match wasn't what a normal flag match was. Normally, a flag match is you put the flags on the corners and you have to capture the flag, basically. They didn't do that. They did just a regular match with the flags on the outside. Which, the reason why I picked Swagger is I thought he would win the flag match without having to pin or submit Rusev. Anyway, Rusev picks up the win. I was wrong either way you look at it. Next up, we had the Lumberjack match, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And I can honestly tell you, I cannot remember a Lumberjack match that was this good. I think this might be the best, at least in the last 5 years, 10 years, maybe of all time. This match was just amazing. Seth picks up the win after a little bit of help. I picked it wrong. I thought Ambrose would win, so unfortunately I'm on a little bit of a wrong streak right now. Next up we had Bray Wyatt versus Y2J Chris Jericho. I picked this one right. I didn't think they would have Wyatt lose to Jericho 2 pay-per-views in a row. I think it would have stunted his growth a bit. I think it's the right thing to do for him to get a big win over a future Hall of Famer is definitely where you want to go with Bray, seeing as he's pretty much looked at as one of the guys to be the future of the company. Now the next match I picked wrong. I don't remember if I said it in the preview, but I kind of was leaning towards what actually happened with Nikki Bella turning on Brie Bella and letting Stephanie get the win. I picked Brie. I thought they would end the feud from there, but seems that instead of ending the feud with Steph and Brie just going on to be just a run-of-the-mill wrestler, they put her into a feud with Nikki Bella, which should be interesting. Next up, we had Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton in a very good match. Randy Orton helped, I think, show that Roman Reigns is up to the level where he could be looked at as a future main eventer. And I pretty much think that's what they were looking to do with this match, is get someone as good as Randy Orton in there with Roman Reigns to see if Roman Reigns could be what they eventually want him to be. I picked this one right. I had no reason, and I don't think anybody out there has any reason to believe that Roman Reigns was going to lose. Last but not least, the main event of the evening. I picked the outcome right, but I don't think anybody in the world expected what we seen. We seen the total annihilation of John Cena by the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. It was just a brutal beatdown. 16 German suplexes, him tossing Cena around like he was nothing. The only bit of offense Cena gets, he sits up like The Undertaker and laughs at him. It was stunning. The brutality and the one-sidedness of this was so stunning that this match is etched permanently into your brain now. It was the most lopsided, big-time pay-per-view match I've ever seen. I was dumbfounded by how, I thought it would be, Lesnar would control the match, but I thought Cena would do a little bit. Cena is John Cena. I figured he'd get some offense in, but wow. To me, it told an amazing story, and it set up Brock Lesnar to be the most credible wrestler I think there's ever been. He's beaten the streak of The Undertaker. He's taken the face of the WWE for the last decade in John Cena and totally, utterly dismantled him. As he would say, he left him in a pool of his own piss, blood, and vomit. Just a quick recap to get how many I got wrong and right. I got 5 right, 2 wrong. No, 3 wrong, I'm sorry. 5 right, 3 wrong, and 1 that I didn't know going into the predictions. Overall, not bad. I would have liked to be more around the 7-1 or 6-2, but it is what it is. A couple of them surprised me, so there's nothing wrong with that. Surprises in wrestling are always good. Coming off of that, we're going to go into our ratings for the show. Now, if you've seen any of our shows before, you know we have a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. 1's a great Khali, 2 is a Heath Slater, 3 is a Stardust, 4 is a Cesaro, 5 is a Daniel Bryan. I'm going to give this show a 4, a Cesaro. The spectacle that was the main event, the Bray Wyatt Y2J, the Lumberjack match, AJ and Paige, and Miz and Ziggler, all brought exactly what you thought they would bring, plus more. Then you had the good to great matches in Reigns versus Orton, Brie Bella versus Stephanie, which was a million times better of a match than I thought it was going to be. Just an overall solid pay-per-view. Definitely a 4, a Cesaro. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But basically, that's all I have to say about that. My name is George Coles, and this has been another episode of Heel Heat.